Two senior U.S. officials tell CNN that Yemen and the U.S. are looking for fresh al-Qaeda targets for a possible retaliation strike. The Yemeni government released this video today of an operation that happened last week. And Yemen's foreign minister emphasizes that any airstrikes would be conducted by Yemeni forces, but that technical intelligence help would be needed. Now, this comes as officials are investigating possible links to a cleric who is called the bin Laden of the Internet and the bomb suspect. Our CNN's Brian Todd is joining us with what he has learned. And how closely are these two linked, the suspect and this guy who's on the internet, who's an inspiration to many of these?
No hard evidence right now, Suzanne, that the two men ever corresponded directly, but lots of questions being asked right now. Questions about this suspect's connections to Yemen. Who did he meet with? Was he directed by someone to do what he did, and where did he get his inspiration? Some of those questions pertain to a cleric named Anwar al-Awlaki, who is known to have corresponded with the alleged Fort Hood shooter and who is a very popular internet attraction for jihadists.
He's been called the bin Laden of the Internet, an online jihadi sensation. American-born cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, believed by U.S. officials to have been hiding in Yemen, has clearly inspired Muslim radicals through his online postings and other communications. But does al-Awlaki have a connection with the suspect in the Christmas Day bombing attempt aboard a U.S. airliner? Republican Congressman Pete Hoekstra, ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, has said since the Christmas Day incident he believes there is a connection. Hoekstra now says, after being briefed by U.S. officials, he's heard nothing to change that perception. U.S. officials say that last August, they knew of communications between extremists in Yemen and a person called the Nigerian. There was no name attached to that. The airline attempt suspect, Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalab, is Nigerian. The group al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula has claimed responsibility for the airline attempt. But CNN national security analyst Peter Bergen says al-Awlaki may not have been part of that.
There's no indication that al-Awlaki, the cleric, is any way involved in operational matters for al-Qaeda, but clearly he's operated as an insider to jihad in the United States by his own account.
Al-Awlaki had previously exchanged emails with U.S. Army Major Nidal Hasan, who's now charged with killing 13 people at Fort Hood. And the 9/11 Commission report says he had contact with two of the 9/11 hijackers while they were in the U.S., though there's no evidence he knew of the plot. The Imam at the Virginia mosque where al-Awlaki was a leader described his appeal.
Young, handsome, Californian, has the benefit of English without an accent, and who also is proficient in the Arabic language. In fact, he is technically an Arab. What better mix?
Al-Awlaki is believed to have fled to Yemen in 2003 or 2004, and since then has been called a rock star among those who incite radicalism on the internet. This is a video lecture appearing on an Islamic website.
It is important that we present the proper role models for ourselves to follow.
Ben Vensky is with a group called Intel Center, a contractor which gives counter-terror support to U.S. intelligence and the military.
How has he done it? How has he been so effective on a virtual scale?
Al-Awlaki is doing this by putting out video material that people can access, written documents, other kinds of writings and teachings that are then influencing these people and then ultimately corresponding with them directly in some cases.
But it's unclear whether Anwar al-Awlaki is doing that at the moment or if he's even still alive. There's been speculation that he was killed in a strike on suspected jihadist hideouts in Yemen recently, but a U.S. official tells CNN the intelligence community believes he is alive. And al-Awlaki's own family is quoted this week as saying the same thing, and they deny that he has any role with al-Qaeda. Suzanne?
Are there any other major plots that he's been linked to provide an inspiration for other jihadists?
Ben Vensky says that his name has come up regarding the investigation of the 2005 subway bombings in London, but it's important to point out that in most of these cases it's believed that these people did not necessarily correspond with him directly, that they saw his postings online, they saw his videos and got inspired by them. We do know that he did correspond with the alleged Fort Hood shooter directly via email.
Okay, Brian, thank you so much.